This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Phone a Friend, brought to you by INCRadio Oregon. I am Geraldine Langit, and I will be your host for today. And before I go ahead and introduce Sister Gigi with me, I would like to do my personal greetings. I would like to greet our resident minister in the local congregation of Vancouver, Brother J. Cruz and his family, as well as my family who are watching at home, and my sisters in the Philippines, Ate Se, Ate Melissa, and my brother-in-law, Brother Lyndon Del Rosario. So I hope you all are well, and hello to everyone who is watching our show. I hope you all stay with us throughout this whole show. And so assisting me today is Sister Gigi. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, Paul. My name is Sister Gigi Lim from the local congregation of Hillsborough. I'd like to extend my greetings to my resident minister, DJ Angeles, and his family, as well as my family watching at home, including my cat Chopsticks, my grandparents in Alaska, my tita in Austin, and her twin sister in Florida, along with her husband, as well as my family in the Philippines. Hope you guys are good.
All right, I'm excited to be hosting with you, Gigi. So in our episode today, topic is winter car maintenance. So what you can expect in our show are the following. So insights and tips from brethren on car maintenance for the winter and how to drive in the snow, and videos of brethren on how to check car fluids, and again on how to drive when there's a heavy snowstorm or even block black ice. Black ice. So we invite you to keep engaging with us in our live chat, and we would love to hear your insights in our show. So before we go ahead and introduce our topic, helping us today is Nemo, our first time guest. Woo-hoo!
My dad!
So go ahead and Nemo, introduce yourself.
Hello, hi, brother. I'm Brother Nimrod Lim, local of Hillsborough. I say hi to my wife, my daughter here in the studio,
Hello.
our cat Chopsticks, my parents, Ka Felix Lim Jr. and Sister Phoebe Lim in Alaska, my sisters and my family all over the world. Hello po.
Oh, they have a big family, huh? All right, well, welcome, Nemo. Thank you so much for being with us in our show.
No
And
problem.
I can't wait to hear your advice and tips on how to drive in the winter. So, actually, I want to also greet my dog. Hopefully, you're watching.
I hope
My
you
dog, Duncan. All right. So, and our topic, again, our title is Winter Car Maintenance. Last week, we talked about preparing our homes for the winter season. However, in addition to home preparation, winter also brings challenges on the road. Snowy, icy conditions, and freezing temperatures are common, and they can significantly affect our vehicle's performance and safety. And so, in this episode, we will hear from our brethren who are experienced with cars about tips and important things to remember as the colder season approaches. So, Gigi here is a new driver. Could you go ahead and tell us when you first got your driver's license?
like late in the summer, late July.
July. Okay. So, we all know July is the summer. So, it's going to be her first winter season driving.
I'm scared.
So, what questions do you have? Maybe your dad can answer.
Well, as a first-time driver, I don't know that much about cars. So I was just wondering what are some things I can do on my own at home to prepare my car for the upcoming winter season?
Okay, so before we hear from Nemo here in our studio, we have Brother Lexter Kilit, who will be answering, giving us tips on what to check in our cars and those different kinds of fluids and where to check them. So why don't we go ahead and listen and watch our video?
Hello, brethren. I am Brother Lexter from the local congregation of Vancouver. I know taking care of your car seems overwhelming, but allow me to share to you my own checklist in doing my maintenance in my personal vehicle. Now we need to know where the door latch is. They are usually placed on the left side bottom of your steering wheel. And when opening the hood, you can see that there's a latch here that you need to release. First on the list is the battery terminals. If there's a corrosion, clean it if necessary. Next is the coolant level. Don't ever open this cup when it's hot. Just go to the overflow tank and check the level over there, or simply by opening the cup. And next is the wiper fluid. Check the level if you need to fill or top it off. Next is the air filter. You need to always check this also, at least once a month. And next will be the one of the most important on the checklist, checking your oil engine. By using the dipstick, you want to check the oil level. You always want it to be between those two dots. It is very important to change your engine oil. I usually do mine between 3,000 to 5,000 miles. I also suggest that once in a while, you can put a cardboard below the engine while it's running to check for possible leaks. And next is checking your tire tread and tire pressure. It is very important also to do your tire rotation every 5,000 miles so that you have even wear of your tires. And now if you're still confused, you can always go and stop by to an auto shop near you so that they can tell you what you need to know.
All right. Well, first off, we would like to thank Brother Lexter for, doing that video for us and showing us where to find those different fluids and, what those important things to know. I thought it was really interesting that he mentioned about putting a cardboard under your car just to see if there's any leaking that you need to be aware of. So I think that was really great. How about you, Nimo? What else can you add to, or are there any other tips?
All those tips are great. He just a lot of the basic ones. Other ones you can check is your wiper blades, because a lot of times, especially here, living in the Pacific Northwest, we use our wiper blades a lot. And you have to make sure that they're not streaking. Once they start streaking, time to change them out. Look at your owner's manual or look it up online. You can go to the auto shop and see which one you actually need for that one, for the wiper blades. And aside from the fluids, like, you can also check he was talking about the leaking oil. And a lot of times the older vehicles, they will have leaks like that. So just be cognizant of what that is. And regarding the oil, newer vehicles, depending on how old your vehicle is, you can go for 3,000 to 5,000. But most manufacturers nowadays, if it's a newer vehicle, 2008 and above, you can go to 7,000 to 10,000 miles for your oil change bulb.
Or would you also say, for example, for my car, my dad just changed my oil yesterday, so thank you, Dad. So my car, the maintenance required light turned on. So once that turned on, would you suggest to just go ahead and change your oil, or what can you check?
So did it turn on after he changed the oil or before he changed the oil?
Before he changed the oil.
So if he changed before he changed the oil, as bring it to an auto shop or AutoZone and have them check the code on there. If your dad has a code, have them check the code, see what the code is. And once you do that, then you can have it reset it. And then the main thing is getting the code, what the proper coding is on that vehicle.
What do you mean by coding? What is that actually?
So whenever a maintenance light comes on, there's a computer inside in your vehicle. And when you connect it to a special computer, it'll diagnose what kind of code it is, either B1, A1, C1, depending on the manufacturer. That'll let you know what's wrong with it.
So they so those codes correspond with the kind of problem it is with that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow, good thing I'm not becoming a mechanic. Oh my gosh, this is a lot to remember.
Yeah, but it's really interesting to know, if we didn't have this show, I probably would never know that there's like those codes that you can that corresponds with like a problem with your car. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing us with that. I don't know if you mentioned, but let's say it's freezing temperature and then the windshield starts freezing. is there anything you can do to kind of like, I guess, defrost
Oh yeah,
the?
yes. So the few times it snows over here in in Oregon, Pacific North, in Portland, you can get a special wiper fluid called de-icing wiper fluid.
Mm,
And what that is that since feeding temperature is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and it will not freeze the line. So with that de-icer, it'll keep the line fluid good and clear, so that when you put the fluid through, it'll de-ice it right away your windshield.
mm.
And so that de-icing fluid acts kind of in place for the wiper. And like it does the same thing, but it also defrosts.
Correct.
And is it only available like auto shops or can you get it online too?
You can get auto shops online or in your local store, even your grocery stores have that too. And
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's another another fluid to check.
Mhm.
While it's starting to get really cold here in Oregon and they're in Washington. So yeah, those are
And
really
Idaho
good.
and Montana.
And Idaho and Montana especially because
Mhm.
they have really cold weathers. All right, so in the first part, it's just in the first part of our show, and we're already learning a lot from our brothers. So we learned the different things that we can do and checked on our cars to prepare for the colder weather. And so we have another caller who also has a question about getting through the winter season. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and listen to this question.
How should I drive if there's a heavy snowstorm or a black ice to avoid accidents and stay in control of my car?
Okay, this is a really great question, because from time to time, at least once or twice a year here in Oregon, we get, like a really heavy snowstorm.
Mhm.
So why don't we go ahead and listen to Brother Dan Dygart, who will give us some tips and advice on how to drive in the heavy snowstorm. Well, let's go ahead and watch.
Hi to all. In this short segment, we're going to be discussing the winter weather and how to drive in it, especially for those that are new to the area and new drivers. We will go over certain little points and things that you can do to help you safely travel through the winter weather. We will be discussing first our car. And before this, as we know, before we do any traveling whatsoever in the snow or wherever we may be going, we always hold a devotional prayer with our family so that we arrive safely at our destination. Our car is the very important thing that we need to discuss first. We need to have our car prepared for the winter time. We need to know that we have good tires on our car and check the fluid levels of our engine and most of all, making sure the car is sound to drive in the weather. Make sure you have a full tank of fuel. A full tank of fuel will be beneficial just in case that 15-minute drive becomes a 2-hour or 3-hour destination drive because of the weather. As for us, we need to dress warm, wear coats and gloves, and if you don't like gloves, have them in the car at least, so if you do get stuck somewhere for a while, you will have the extra warmth you need of your hands. And also, it's wise to keep a blanket in your car, just in case you get stuck someplace, because sometimes it takes a while for a tow truck to come get you in the winter weather if you get stuck somewhere. So anticipate maybe being there for a couple hours, and the blanket will help you stay warm. Our tires, very important on our car, especially in this time of year. If we have good tread on our tires and they're in good condition, it's a plus. And they also offer, if you go to a vendor that sells tires, they have what they call studded snow tires. These tires can stay on your vehicle from November 1st to March 31st, so that you'll have them on your car at all times just in case you got caught with a surprising snowstorm or black ice. We'll discuss black ice here in just a minute and how to drive in it. So anyhow, what we need to do is make sure that we are ready for the road so that we have warm clothes, a sound car that's able to perform what it needs to do, and be able to make it to our destination safely with our families. Black ice, a common thing in Portland and the metro area. Black ice is where you see rain coming down out of the sky, but when it hits the road, it instantly freezes and turns into what they call black ice. When you look at the roadway, the reason why they call it black ice is that the ice looks like it's just water on the road. but actually it's froze so quick that it causes a film of ice on the road, which is very, very slippery. The studded snow tires that I discussed that you can buy from a vendor that sells tires, these studded snow tires are very good in this type of weather that we have around here. And you can keep them on your vehicle from the November to March so that you're able to have these at any time that you're driving, just in case there's a surprise snowstorm, which happens in this area, or the black ice that happens overnight. It may be dry the night before, but the morning you wake up, we have black ice everywhere. So just be wise that, the weather changes very quickly in this area. And we need to also be prepared in the way we drive. Never drive fast. 25. I consider 20 as being a good time to drive. At that speed, that is a good speed to handle your car at, so that you can be able to stop safely and take off safely and be safe around the other people on the road with you. Feathering your brakes. This is a thing that I learned a long time ago. I've lived here all my life. And feathering your brakes is what you do is a light tap of the brakes so that you can reassure yourself. By the way, when you tap the brakes, if the car feels like it doesn't slide, then you're still safe. You have no problems with traction, where if you tap your brakes and you feel the car like slightly move or slide or something like that, it's indication that you need to allow a lot more room between you and the cars around you. My advice is that if you travel a car length and a half behind a car when you're driving normally, double that to about 3 car lengths so that you can safely stop and be able to maneuver your car safely if you come into an area that's icy or extra snowy, so that you can go around the situation and be able to perform your duty as a good person to the people around you that are driving. Always be with, always keep in mind that the people around you can stop just as good as you can. So hopefully they will be able to do this as well and keep themselves safely around you. And hopefully these tips will help you when you're driving this winter. Have a good day.
Yeah, those are really great tips, for driving in a heavy snowstorm. And I also love that Brother Dan didn't just kind of like focus on how to drive when there's like a heavy snowstorm or black ice, but he also mentioned about, preparing to start driving, like having blankets, having gloves, having all those like first aid kits just in case you get stuck somewhere while driving. So yeah, those are really great tips. I've also never heard of feathering brakes before. And kind of like learning that from Brother Dan. I think it's also a very important thing to remember when you're driving, because you don't want to just like slam on the brakes.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I used to slam the brakes a lot, and I'm still working on it. In driving school, they actually taught us how to feather the brakes, at least up here in Oregon. And my dad, he instills that in me, especially when I was still doing my permit. So with or without ice, feathering the brakes, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a good strat.
Yeah, I would say it's a really good thing, because as a passenger, it's I kind of don't like it when the driver slams the brake. It makes me dizzy. It makes me dizzy. I don't like you. I don't really like you, but I'm just saying, like, if the driver slams on the brake, it's like, please don't do that again. So yeah, Nemo, what else can you add to all the things that Brother Dan mentioned, and any other advice that you have?
They're all good suggestions from Brother Dan, but also in feathering the brake, it's also a good idea also because if you slam on the brake too much, you wear your brakes down also. So if a slight tap, like Brother Dan said, feather it, it'll let your brakes last a little longer. And regarding, let's see, the winter tires, the studded tires, they're great ideas also, but just be sure you know the rules of the road in your area. So like in, I believe, Idaho, Montana, yes, you can probably have your studded tires as much as you want. But places like Hillsborough, Beaverton, Portland, you might not be able to keep it on for such a long time because you'll damage the road and you might get ticketed for that. So just be wary of when and where you have your studded tires so that you don't get in trouble for that. And another way to prevent that, if you watch the weather and you know it's gonna snow and blizzard, just don't go out. Just stay home so that you'll be safe, your family will be safe. But if you have to go out, pray.
Oh,
Yes, or
Mhm.
even like plan accordingly if you know you have something planned already and it starts snowing. Just leave your house maybe 3 hours earlier if there's a specific time that you need to be at a certain place. Just plan accordingly, just so to be safe. And one question, Nemo, is you and Brother Dan talked about studded tires. I just want to know what are the difference between studded tires and chains? Like
And
when would you use?
yeah, like in general.
Mm-hmm.
In general, a lot of times, even you go through mountain passes, they will require you to have chains no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
because chains will give you better grip on the ice. Studded tires are mainly for like on road or some other places here and there,
Like
but in
urban.
urban areas, yeah. But you can also have the studded tires in the mountain passes also if you have four-wheel drive. But a lot of times, even the even in the mountain passes, no matter what you have studded or winter tires, you always have to have chains, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what, because the chains will get you better grip in any
Got it.
situation.
Mm,
Yeah, it's really good. I've never heard of that. I thought if like newer cars now, they have what the all-wheel
all
Also,
drive.
weather.
all-season tires, yeah,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
the all-season tires they're good also, but for our area here, Portland Metro, all
Mhm.
you really need is all-season tires.
oh,
But
Because
uh-huh.
we don't have the heavy winters like our brother in Idaho and Montana. Yes,
Right.
you probably have two or three sets of tires. You have your summer, winter tires, just so that you be able to drive and survive there. But us here and the lower elevations, you don't. All you really need is all
The
season
all seasons.
tires.
Okay. That's really great. Yeah. Is there, anything? What did you learn from your dad today?
that's like a lot of information in my head. I know. I'm still young. I'm gonna be living with my parents for a little bit longer
Mhm.
till I settle down. But I think a lot of the stuff he tells me, I asked him about, and we were actually talking about it the day before we came here. Like,
Mhm.
oh, we should get a blanket. That's a smart idea. You're preparing your car for winter. Wait, we're gonna talk about this today. And especially concerning the fluid stuff. I have no clue about that. And the
Yeah.
coding, that's like a lot of information that kind of went straight over my head. But now I'm more in tune with that. I learned a lot from this discussion.
Yeah, same. I agree. So yeah, if you have any more questions, you can always look up online, especially if the weather is forecasted. So before you start driving, um, it's always better to check the weather online and see how it is. So to conclude our show, whether you've just started driving or have been driving for many years now, we all want to make sure that we stay reliable, our car, and we stay safe. So winter weather can be unpredictable, but taking the time to prepare your vehicle can make a huge difference. So by handling a few essential winter checks and maintenance tasks, you can help ensure your car is ready for the cold and you can travel with great peace of mind that you will be able to reach your destination safely. So before we go ahead and end our show, why don't we go ahead and read some live chats
Yep.
from our brethren?
I see one from my grandpa, Brother Felix Slim. Hi Lolo, I missed you. I hope you guys are safe in Alaska. And I do believe that these tips will be of great to them as well. And I saw one from Clea Byrne back in Humboldt. I think that's their locale still. Hi at the Keon. Hi Clea Byrne. It was really fun seeing you guys in Dallas. And one from Sister Kristen. Hello, po, and greeting to the locale. Hashtag Hillsboro, watching from hashtag Renton in the District of Washington State. Hello, Ate. It's nice seeing you here. Um, one from Brother Brian.
Brother
Brian,
Brian.
Brother Brian, happy to listen in from Washington, D.C., and would like to greet my beautiful wife, Rose Ann, and our super smart daughter, Winley. That's really sweet. I hope you guys
Yes.
greeted me like that in the live cast
They're our
before.
relatives. So hello Poke Brian and
Ooh,
at the end, Baby
hello.
Win. Hope you
Any-
all are
Is there
well.
anybody else you'd like to greet out there?
I just wanted some, it's from our brethren. Sister Kristen Padasdal said, such great tips and a very relevant topic. I have lived in Hawaii my whole life, so I am still getting adjusted to driving here during the winter since moving here. And then Brother Michael Guerrero said, thank you for the tips, po. Most of these apply here in Sacramento as well. Not so much snow though. We do get black ice here. And thank you so much for joining us here in our show from all the way from Sacramento, California. So yeah, we have a lot of live chats, but we'll read them soon. We'll read them on our own.
We'll get back
here
to
in
you another
our
time.
studio. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and go to our birthday greetings and anniversary. So November 26th, Brother Danny Walter Vaneja from Portland. And November 30, Sister Irene Mariano from Beaverton and Brother Justice Navarro from Portland will be celebrating their birthday. And an anniversary, happy anniversary po to Brother Rolando and Michelle Bondoc from Beaverton on November 23rd. And then November 29, Brother Christian and Sister Karen Desmarie from Portland. And then December 4, Brother John and Sister May Villanueva. And on December 7th, Sister Julia Manzano and her husband. Happy anniversary po to all of you and happy birthday to everyone. So yeah, we'll go ahead and go to our acknowledgments. Help us with that, Gigi.
Yes. We would like to thank the following brethren for helping us make this broadcast possible. First and foremost, our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, our INC radio station manager, Brother Wally Taray, our District Supervising Minister, Brother Moises C. Carosale, and our Assistant District Minister, Brother Gino Ramilo, as well as our Executive Producer, Manly, and our behind-the-scene crew.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. Look forward to our next episode next week. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, INC Radio DZEM 954, and share this program link with friends and family who could benefit from our topic. And I don't know, this is such a bittersweet to say, but next week's topic is our Phone a Friend in finale. So we hope you all will support us on our finale, season 1 of Phone a Friend. So thank you for joining us on our episode of Phone a Friend. Now remember, you always have a friend here, one who is just a phone call away. I hope you all have a great Saturday, have a great weekend, and stay safe, everyone.
Behold the triumphant joys of the Church of God.